Well, hello everyone. It's Monday, the 15th of December. I hope you're all well. I've been offline for a few days. I've still done my running every single day. I'm not sure when I did my last video, but it must have been around Wednesday, Thursday. But anyway, Friday, I did two runs. I did a first run at 6 o'clock in the morning, where I ran just over 6 kilometers, and I did that in about 27 minutes. I then met up with some Woodford warriors who I train, and we did another 6 kilometers, half an hour pace. So nothing too stressful for me. Found that quite easy, the second bit, although the weather was absolutely horrific. Then Saturday I did a 10 kilometer run, and I did that with another Woodford warrior, and he got a nice 10 kilometer record, which was great. And then I had my son's birthday party. So Friday night and Saturday night, he had friends staying over because he turned 9, and that was very full on. So over the last few days, I think I've probably over about 2-3 days had about 10 hours sleep, and even I am feeling that. So yesterday, because we had the boys round, I wasn't able to do my 20 kilometer run. So I just did a 10 kilometer run, and then did about 3 or 4 kilometers of intervals, nothing too stressful. And then this morning I did another 6 kilometer run, but the weather has been so bad, it actually took me near half an hour. It was actually 5.5 kilometers, took me nearly half an hour. And that was because it was pitch black. I literally fell in about 3 or 4 potholes where the water went over my knee. It was that deep. So I'm pretty lucky that I didn't injure myself. Got splashed a few times by some cars. This is around about 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning. I think a few of them did it on purpose, but it made me laugh, and it probably made them chuckle as well, although it was absolutely freezing. And I was reflecting over the last few days. I have noticed, there's a few things I've noticed. Firstly, I do need at least 4 or 5 hours sleep, because I have found it hard to, not to run, but to get the motivation to run. Sometimes you really need to be in the mood to really go for a fast run. You've got to build yourself up to it, and I've not been able to do that. Secondly, I've noticed that unless I eat really clean food, I do feel it the next day. So Friday night I had pizza, Saturday I had pizza, and then last night I had a takeaway curry from M&S, an M&S pre-packed curry, which was very nice, but it did make me feel a bit lethargic today. So though it tasted nice, I'm not sure how much value it gave me actually. So we're back on normal, healthy, home-cooked food tonight. I think that will make a difference. I'll try and get 5-6 hours of sleep this evening. I'm going to start upping my daily run. I normally do about 5.5 to 6 kilometers in the morning. If it's not Friday, Saturday, Sunday, where I increase it. But Tuesday to Thursday, I'm going to try and do anywhere between 8 to 10 kilometers. And then I'm going to also increase how much running I do on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I should say. Now, the other thing as well is that I'm not a great believer in this theory of overtraining. Now, of course, everybody has the limits. If you're running 12 hours every day, you're going to get fatigued. That is just natural. But I don't think there's anything wrong with exercising every day in some form or another. And I always remember somebody telling me years and years ago now, when I was in my 20s, around footballers and how they need the rest. And I was thinking, well, I'm running full on an hour and a half every single day, maybe 4 or 5 hours each day on a Saturday and Sunday, and I'm not feeling any ill effects. So I'm not quite a subscriber to overtraining. That said, I don't know, because it's very rare that I ever have a gap in my training. So maybe if I had a day of rest, I would feel better. But Other than resting when I've had food poisoning, which isn't very often, although it did wipe me out, just over a year ago, I don't have any rest days. And even when I feel tired, like today and the weather's rubbish, I still mentally, physically have to do something. I don't do it as quickly as I normally would, but I still have to do something. So I'm not quite a subscriber to overtraining, although again, I'm not a doctor, and I'm quite sure that if you were doing 2, 3, 4 hours every single day, there would be some physical impact of that, unless it was your full-time job and then you can refuel, you can do what you need to do. The other thing, disappointingly, I almost had, because I was so tired yesterday, I almost had a mini sleep during the day, but I stopped myself from doing that. I went upstairs just to have a bit of peace and quiet, which is unusual for me, and I sat on the bed and I watched a brilliant video with Jimmy Bullard and Colin Montgomery. So I do love my golf, so and I almost drifted off, and then I woke myself up and said, no, come on, stood up, went downstairs. So I almost drifted off in the afternoon, which I've been really disappointed about if it had done. Right, so look, I'm going to start doing these videos again and keep you posted about how I recover after a lack of sleep from my son's birthday party and getting my food back on track. Have a great day.